Hey guys, Skippy here, and today is something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I upgrade and tune my cars. I'm going to use this front wheel drive Clio as an example. It's just how I do it. It's not something I'm saying must be done, but it works for me, and I'm usually quite quick with the way I do this. So let's jump in. I usually go to platform handling first, because for some reason when Forza Homo, which is this button, they don't put race brakes on. So I always put race brakes on, race suspension to get those lows, race anti-roll bar, front and back. Put those on. I do the roll cage. I always put the race one on because it adds weight, which is fine, because it brings the performance index down, which is what we want to do. They do weight reduction pretty much on every car if they can, but I'm going to take it off to get that performance index down again after putting the race brake, suspension and roll bars on. Now I go into Drivetrain and I do racing diff, gearbox. Okay, that's good. That street transmission is bringing performance index down, so let's go with that one. But I think it does improve the car slightly. It does, not a lot. It's not going to make much difference, but that index has come down. Clutch, I'm going to take it off, and the drive line, take that off as well. So that's that one. Tyres, check the width, because you don't need 245s, 235s. In a Class C car, 245s is overkill. 235s front and rear is fine. Wheels I'll do in a minute, because I use those to bring the index down again if I get over in a minute with the power, because they can add weight. Aero and appearance, sorry. I don't usually do aero on Class C, B. It's usually the higher horsepower cars that I do aero, so we'll leave it for the Clio. Right, that is done. That is done. Let's go for power. Let's get rid of the flywheel. Right, we're down to 475 performance index. What I check in here first is air filter, because the air filter not only adds power, it takes weight, not a lot, but it does reduce the weight. And reducing weight takes a lot of performance index. So I take that off, and the exhaust is exactly the same. It does a weight reduction, so it uses a lot of performance index for not a lot of power. So put that back to stock. Then I go for cams, because it's big horsepower, you can rev higher. It's not that much performance index. I mean, it seems a lot, but it's not really for the power and revving higher. And now I just try and get a decent figure of horsepower. So 262 at 492 performance index. It's not bad. It's pretty good. See, exhaust just goes over. That goes over. Oil and cooling is usually quite good, because sometimes that can add weight. So let's go for that one, 265. If we can get 270, I'll be happy. I don't think that's going to happen. 271. See, now this is where I could use the heavier wheels to get me what I want. 272 at 504. We could possibly get heavier wheels. Let's try. Let's try. I'll just flick through quickly. 503 I'm seeing. 504. 503. I'm not usually fussed about the look of them as long as they function. Let's go for some Super Turismo GTs. 503. Hopefully this works. And then you just make them bigger. 502. Not sure that's enough. 500. Boom. So we've upped the horsepower and kept it in its class and restriction. Yes, we weigh a bit more, but we got more power and better brakes, better suspension, better roll bars, better roll cage. Tyres aren't as wide, but we've got more power. Now, how I tune, or fine tune, saving content, is front and rears 27 psi. Again, this is just what works for me. It might not work for you, but for me, I do well. Most cars are this platform as well. I don't generally, only four-wheel drive when I'm doing the diff settings is anything that's really majorly different. But gearing, I don't generally touch. The only thing I really touch is the final drive. Alignment, I usually go 1.2, between 1.2 and 1.5 on the rears. Let's bring that down to 0.8 actually for this one. A bit of toe in, just for turn in response at the front, and toe out for stability at the rear. Go to 0.3, 0.3. 5.5 caster, it's just what works. Anti-roll bars, I don't really touch them. When tuning springs, I usually lower the car, just for show really, because I think it looks cool. Front stiffness, I sometimes put it up a little bit, just to give it a bit more rigidity in the corners. Same with rebound stiffness and bump stiffness, just to match the springs really. Aero, we don't have any. Brakes 52 and 10. I just like a bit more brake pressure. It's a bit more feeling when braking, I find. And balance, that's just what I like. I don't get any oversteer when braking in a corner. I get a little bit of understeer, which I can deal with better than oversteer in the higher horsepower cars. Diff, I've always done 52 and 10. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with that, but that works. I really hate that information bubble is in that top right hand corner, because when you're there, you can't see what category you're in. You just got to sort of look at the information and figure out what you're doing. But yeah, that's what works for me. If it works for you, give this video a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I will definitely see you in the next one.